hard work and work-life balance is a whole nother ballgame. I think it is a struggle. And I think it is a struggle, especially for moms, wives, anybody who has, multiple pieces of their life that they're trying to kind of put together. Is you got to work really, really hard, but then don't forget your why. Like if that is your why and your why is at home, don't let the work supersede your family or that balance. Because again, your kids are only young once, and you'll blink and they'll all of a sudden be too old to hang out and too old to watch that movie with. And, they won't want to snuggle with you on the couch anymore. So I think having that perspective and knowing that you can work hard, but you got to at some point, like put a little bit of a cap on it and realize when it's taking away from the people that you're doing it for.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Health Transformers. I'm Becky Longacre, your nurse gone health coach. And today with me, I have Tori Doucette, who is the branch manager of Revolution Mortgage Broker Company. Welcome, Tori.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
And so this conversation is about empowering other women to reach the next level in their business, in their life, and attaching to that abundance. So I'm going to ask you some questions on how you got to where you are.
Sure. Happy to.
So so first of all, how did you become a mortgage broker? How did that story happen?
Oh Lord, long time ago. So about 9 years ago, I was working for an insurance company. I was doing property and casualty insurance, so like homeowners and auto policies, things like that. And I had a girlfriend from college that was working for a mortgage company, and she was kind of doing her thing and telling me, reaching out to me. She used to get homeowners quotes for me because she dealt with mortgages, and so we were kind of symbiotic in that way. And she had reached out to me and kind of had said, hey, like all like the things that you do for insurance, like you sound like you'd be really good for mortgages as well. And I was like, oh, really? Like, how does that work or whatever? And she kind of mentioned it was a commission-based business and all these things. And I immediately like clammed right up. I was a mom of 3 small children. I had just had twins. My husband and I were like 50-50 breadwinners. And it was terrifying to me. I was like, there's no way I could go to like 100% commission. Again, it's like the fear of kind of putting yourself out there and relying completely on yourself and your own production to pay your bills. So I reluctantly explored it a little bit, pulled back for almost an entire year. They had offered me a position at the company that she worked for, and I went back. I was scared. I was too afraid to make the leap at the time. So I stayed at my salaried job, making much, much less than I do now. And about a year later, she reached back out and had told me how much better she was doing and how much she had grown and all these things. And of course, she's making all this money and she's so successful and she's got all this flexibility. And she's telling me all these things because as a commissioned employee, even though, she wasn't self-employed, she was still running her own business. And it again piqued my interest. I was like, okay, can I do this? Can I really do this? And my husband was super, super supportive and was like, we'll figure out a way to make it work. Like, let's do it. The company I worked for at the time was called Acadia Lending, and they're amazing, like husband and wife team, similar to what my husband and I do now. So it's kind of cool to like see that full circle. But gave me a shot, trained me, kind of gave me the wind beneath my wings. And I busted my butt for many, many, many years to get where I am now. But that was that's what started me out. Like that's how I began.
Right. And so you were finally ready to take that leap of faith, to take that risk because you could see your friend reaping the benefits.
1,000%. She had flexibility. She had, great income potential, I guess. And I always saw myself as a hard worker. And I think part of what I believe truly to my core is like anyone can be successful at anything if you put the work in. So it's not always easy. It doesn't come day one. Sometimes we do a lot of work for free to kind of, again, we talked about this briefly before we started recording, was planting seeds and building relationships and things like that. And things that I knew I could do and I knew I'd be decent at. But just, yeah, kind of taking a risk on myself and just, I bet on myself. And
Yeah,
I think that's kind of something you have to do in this type of business for sure.
100%. So I'm hearing you ultimately you had confidence that you could do it. You got to that place.
Yeah, and I think that comes from having supportive people around you as well. I had a friend in the business, so it was kind of nice to be able to hear the good, the bad, the ugly from her, and then having a supportive husband at home that was kind of like, you should try this. Like we should try this together. I mean, it was again a sacrifice on his part. We were, not knowing how things would pan out, and luckily, obviously, everything worked out well. But there was definitely a lot of time to build myself up. You don't start out with a lot of business when
Hmm.
you're in this type of role. From mortgages standpoints, it's heavily referral based, and I didn't know a single person that could refer me someone buying a house. So it was kind of a unique growth experience because I had to really put myself in uncomfortable situations with networking and making friends with realtors who are amazing referral sources for us. But putting yourself in those situations when you're young and you don't know really what you're doing yet. And again, people were taking a shot on me and giving me an opportunity, and it obviously ended up working out. But I think again, putting in that time, putting in that energy. I worked a lot of nights. I did a lot of networking events. I was, again, if I could be out in a social setting of any kind, I was doing that, trying to put myself out there on social media, which was not even a thing back then. And kind of like, again, like it was embarrassing to me at the time. I was young and I didn't like doing video. I don't even like doing video today, but
Hmm.
I know it works. Like you know what I mean? Like I know that that's how we get our names out there and things like that. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's been a wild ride.
Awesome. All right. So what are some challenges and rewards of being a business owner or a business manager?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I could go on for hours about this. So I mean, challenges are, we put a lot of a weight on ourselves. I think as business owners, I think that we carry the weight of the world, and we want everyone around us to be happy. We want to do a good job. I think reputation is really really important. So building a strong business, a good business, like those can be hard. And again, in the mortgage world, I mean, there are very much like ebbs and flows of business. Like there are slow times, there are busy times. It's feast or famine sometimes, where things will be so good, and you're like, wow, I'm like on top of the world, and then literally the next month you'll have nothing, and you're like, does everybody hate me? Did I upset somebody? Like, what have I done? And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden it comes back full circle and you're back to being crazy busy. So it's definitely a unique business,
Mhm.
with kind of trying to squirrel things away when things are doing really well, and then ride the wave when things are slow, because it does usually come back, obviously.
Mhm.
So I would say, just as a business owner, I think that that can be a challenge. Obviously, the great side of being a business owner is you get what you put in. I've said that just a minute ago. You get what you put into this type of business, and I think anybody that's willing to work hard and bet on themselves and value things like honesty, transparency, those types of things are going to go far. I think anybody that's willing to like dig their heels in and believes in what they do and have a passion for what they do, I think it's an easy success story if you're willing to put in the work.
100%. So before the actual interview, we're talking a little bit about moms and how moms in business, they have a slightly different experience than dads in business. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like moms in general, we carry a lot up in our heads. And I can't speak for dads. Obviously, I'm not a dad,
Yeah.
but I think just moms in general, we have a lot going on. I mean, we're always worried about appointments and all the things that the kids get going on, and those types of things. I think are a lot different for a mom than a dad. And so, being a mom and a business owner, you can really pile on, which again, I think if you've got a strong support system, which I'm very very lucky to have, um, I think that it's a more manageable thing.
Mhm.
um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, just being a mom is, you just got a lot of hats that you wear. And again, we talked about obviously balance and finding a balance. You kind of got to start with your why. Like, what is your why behind wanting this business? What's your why behind, why do you get up every day? Why do you do it? For me, at the very core of it all, it is my family and being able to provide a life for them that, like, I dreamt about as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, my parents worked very, very, very hard to be able to take us on one vacation in literally my entire life. Like, one, like a real vacation, like get on a plane. And, I did that one time when I was a kid, and
Mm-hmm.
my parents were so proud of it. And I'm proud of them for them being able to do it. But it was always something that I had in my head, is like, I wanted to provide this life for my kids, that they had like the most magical childhoods, that I got to take them all these places and they got to see all these cool things. And each family can do that in their own way. I don't think you need to make millions of dollars to be able to provide those types of experiences for their kids. But I do think moms and mom entrepreneurs on top of that, like, it's got to be your why. It's got to be like why you get up and go every single day, because it's hard. It's a big balance, and you put in a lot of loud hours. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's very rewarding. And I think that it comes down to, we do it for our families. So
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. If you're motivated only by money, or if you're motivated only by not wanting to be told what to do, I don't believe you'll succeed. I don't. I believe that it needs to be something bigger and deeper than that.
yep,
100%.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah, money's one thing, and everybody can make money if they work really, really hard. And I think too, I could never clock a 9 to 5 ever again after being an entrepreneur. I mean, being able to make my own schedule, but not everybody is like that either. I mean, there are plenty of successful people that crave that set schedule. They crave that structure. I'm not one of those people. I hate that. But I feel like, again, I think there's different ways to be successful, and it doesn't always necessarily mean owning a business. It doesn't necessarily mean running anything.
Hmm.
But again, finding what you're happy with and what motivates you, again, I think is what's important.
Yeah. So you kind of touched on this a little bit. In terms of the common denominators for business success, life success, family success. I know before the formal interview, we were talking about being present and the importance of being present wherever you are, and how that infuses either it's either a constructive outcome wherever you are, whether it's work or family, life, um, but being present and then putting the work in. So, you want to talk a little bit about the common denominators that you've observed with any aspect of life success or business success?
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, at the end of the day, I think it comes down to hard work. I
Mm,
think genuinely you have to be self motivated. You have to push yourself. You have to be willing to take some sort of risks, even when you're afraid, because I think the people that don't, those are the people that stay kind of stagnant. I mean, it for me, and it's a tough pill to swallow sometimes, because I think a lot of times, even in a very, very challenging moment, you can learn so much about yourself. And if you take those types of challenges and those difficult times in life and in business, and you can actually learn something from them,
mm,
that's growth. Like, that's true growth. And that's how you kind of take yourself to the next level, because you'll handle situations differently. You'll handle people differently even. And as sometimes as hard of a pill as it is to hear sometimes, it's meant to teach you something. So, as far as that's concerned, but again, that's a hard work thing. The hard work, although I say hard work and work life balance is a whole nother ball game. I think it is a struggle, and I think it is a struggle especially for moms,
mm,
wives, anybody who has multiple pieces of their life that they're trying to kind of put together. Is you got to work really, really hard, but then don't forget your why. Like, if that is your why and your why is at home, don't let the work supersede your family or that balance, because again, your kids are only young once, and you'll blink and they'll all of a sudden be too old to hang out and too old to watch that movie with, and they won't want to snuggle with you on the couch anymore. So I think having that perspective and knowing that you can work hard, but you got to at some point like put a little bit of a cap on it and realize when
Mm-hmm.
it's taking away from the people that you're doing it for. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're doing your job every single day and you're stressed out and you're doing all these things and you're doing it for those kids, then give those kids that time that they're missing. Because you can come home late and you can bring home work with you like everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
But try to be present, try to remember who you're doing this for and that they're the ones who matter at the end of it all. Not that your clients don't and not that the people that you work with don't, but they're your why. So
Yeah. 100%. All right. And then we were talking a little bit about women and women accepting money. And I just wanted to ask you, why do you suppose women in particular seem to have a barrier with accepting more money, accepting abundance, accepting happiness, accepting you can really have it all? Why do you
yeah,
suppose that is?
I think women are super critical of themselves. I think that we are in our own heads a lot. I think we question our worth a lot, whether or not we deserve something.
Hmm.
All of those types of things, I think, can stand in the way of like true success or true abundance in your life because it's all about a vibration at the end of the day. And if you're putting out positivity into the world, positivity is coming back. If you're this negative Nelly who thinks I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, it's real. Like it really will stop you from being successful because you know your mind controls a lot more than you think that it does. And I think a lot of people, again, women being overthinkers and having a lot going on, we're very critical of ourselves, and we accomplish a lot, we take on a lot, we balance a lot. And I think that we don't give ourselves the credit that we deserve sometimes and realize like how many hats we're wearing and like all of the things that we have to carry in our heads. And
Hmm.
it's a lot. And I think that that's why,
Hmm.
again, if you're, and again, this is not a sexist thing to say, but I think men in general, aren't necessarily always having to focus on all of those different aspects of life
Hmm.
like moms and women do.
Hmm. Right. And so you are living proof that women can truly have abundance, financial abundance, and also marital happiness, and also family happiness. You're happy and healthy. So thank you for coming on. I'd like to do a little plug for your son. So do you
Oh.
want to? So do you want to talk a little bit about your son, with what's going on
Sure.
with your son?
Sure. So my son, his name is Braden. He's 12 years old. Super amazing singer. He's just kind of starting his whole artistry with music, and he's written a song called "I Hate Blue." Currently out now on all platforms. So he's got
Mhm.
Spotify, Apple, I mean iTunes, anything that you can think of. So if anyone's interested, check it out. It's called "I Hate Blue" by Braden Doucette, for free on all those platforms. So check him out. Yeah, he's doing a great job. Super proud of him.
Yeah, I'd love to put the link of how people can find his song right in the description.
Yeah, sure. I'll send that to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. He'll be so excited.
Yeah, yeah. And then I'm happy to put the link of your website for Revolution Mortgage as well.
Sure.
Um, what would you say? So if you could go back and talk to your entrepreneur self that's taking that risk, that's leaving that paycheck, that's taking that leap of faith and starting the business, the commission-based pay, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself it's all going to work out. It's
Yeah.
all going to work out and you can do this. And again, I was young and I definitely didn't have a clue. I obviously didn't have a clue whether or not I would be successful or not. And I put everything I had into becoming successful. So it's not like I didn't snap my fingers and get here or anything like that. I wasn't, I didn't get lucky. Oh, I guess there's probably a little bit of luck that goes into it with relationships and you meet the right people at the right time, but
Mhm.
I definitely put in the work. So I would absolutely tell myself just bust your butt, work hard. Cause I mean, I didn't get here overnight. I've been doing this for almost 9 years now. So,
Mhm.
it's been a steady climb, which is great. And I do not profess to be, the all knowing being. I learn and I grow every single day, even if someone says that I'm successful. I just talked to you about this when we first got on the call. It's so weird for me to hear because as flattering as it is, like I still see myself growing. Like I don't
Mm,
see myself as like, oh, I'm here, I have arrived. Like I don't think there's ever going to be that aha moment for me, but I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I'm proud of that sort of stuff. And I think that more women especially need to take that bet on themselves and put themselves in those types of positions where if you can work hard and if you know you have either a skill or a passion, explore it. I mean, there's nothing this day and age and with social media and all these different ways to connect with people, if you're willing to put in the work, you're definitely going to be able to make it. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that, somebody who has a passion for something, whether it be in the health related field, financial related field, you're a great, baker, whatever it may be, I think bet on yourself and just be willing to put the work in, be willing to put that time in and build yourself a support system if you don't currently have one. I mean, there's plenty of people that are out there that, I met you through BNI. I mean, there's plenty of supportive groups. There's plenty of support people through even just the internet that I think could help you build your businesses, that help connect you to different, different things that may make your business more successful. I think just networking and, getting to know people and people
right.
want to see each other succeed. So,
Yeah, yeah. And what I've heard you say sort of more than once is really you have to have your own back. At the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. So it doesn't matter ultimately if you have like five people that are saying go for it. In the end, you really have to tell yourself, I can do this. I am going to do this. I'm going to take this action. I'm going to do the next right step. I believe in myself. That's so enormous.
and I think too, just doing things, doing tasks for yourself every day to grow and continue to grow, doing those things and not ever kind of like don't take your foot off the gas because the moment you become complacent with what you think that you are good at or what you think you're doing, something is always bound to change. So I feel
Mm.
like giving yourself those actionable items that you can do every day to keep your business momentum moving forward and not stagnant, you're bound to be successful.
100%. Consistency, hard work, strategy, support system. That's what I'm hearing.
Yep,
Yeah,
agreed. All the things. Yes. Of
yeah, yeah. Well, Tori Doucette, thank you for joining us.
course. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.